Hi guys, it's Frank here. I wanted to bring something up and I'm not sure if I wanted to do it this way, but I might as well do it this way. And it's an experience I just had, two experiences with two elders in my former religion, that is Jehovah's Witnesses. One was glad to see me and talk to me when we talked. The other just rejected me outright. No hard feelings, just didn't want to talk. Mind you, they're both older men within the organisation of Jehovah's Witnesses. But one clearly was sad that, we couldn't talk. The other one couldn't care less because of my position. Loyalty to the organisation is more important than talking to someone like myself who is known as an apostate because of my videos. Although my channel really, if you look at my channel, is really looking at drawing people to Christ, to the Father, understanding the different nuances of the new covenant, understanding the nuances of the new creation, the indwelling spirit, you as a child of God, right? I mean, it's not really that dangerous. So I, without sort of sounding like another here we go again former witness, I got no beef with the organisation or with this elder. Actually, I was quite happy to see him. He didn't show the same kindness as I did towards him. So then I thought to myself, how do we bridge the gap? Do we keep going on the offensive? And, as there are many websites who just do this all the time, who are former witnesses, who expose the organisation, rightly or wrongly, whether you agree or don't agree with their methods or their constant critiquing of the organisation for whatever reason. I think of COVID, right? And I think there was a period there where people were against anyone that didn't take a vaccine, right? You had these campaigns from the government down who just attacked people if they never got a vaccine shot. And there's now, post all this, I'm sure there's a lot of people hurting one way or another, right? Because remember, they were attacking those, even those who were vaxxed were attacking those that weren't vaxxed. Even comedians and politicians, were treating people who weren't vaxxed like second-class citizens, almost like criminals. Well, isn't it that similar idea that's happening within the organisation, those who are disfellowshipped and those who aren't? The organisation itself continually attacks those that are no longer witnesses, and especially those who are speaking their truth, as it were, what they see was the error, and expressing that, and they're not happy about that. Of course they're not. It undermines their authority within the organisation. It's the last thing they want to happen, right? My concern isn't so much about the governing body as such, but I'm trying to think, how do we appeal to those who are former members, who are members, that we're like them, really. We want the truth. We don't want to have animosity between us and them, which I think a lot of us don't. We would love to have their company again. But this barrier that the governing body has set up has caused the division. Is it scriptural? Of course it isn't. Disfellowshipping and shunning isn't scriptural, although there is the concept of setting boundaries with people who are toxic. That's certainly in scripture, but that doesn't mean not to talk to them. And that's of course another discussion for another day, in terms of the technicalities of the text and how you can read the context in the text, which we know that Jehovah's Witnesses, the governing body, doesn't do. We know that they like to pick scriptures out and just use them in a way that suits them. Okay, now I'm going a little bit off topic, but veering back, just like the situation we find ourselves today with those who are anti-vaxxers and the vaxxers, and I'm sure there's a lot of people hurting on both sides, and also now coming to grips with the reality that maybe this vaccine wasn't the best. A lot of people are getting hurt from it, and some that have taken it are sort of regretting, and some that have taken it are taking an even bolder stance, and some are just sort of giving the finger up to the government and treat them even worse, right? So it's almost like similarities there now with us as former members and those who were family and friends internally who are still members. Both sides are hurting, but what's the solution of bridging the gap? The only thing I could think of was being kind and compassionate and not being so judgmental to those who are within. I'm not talking about the governing body and their error. Sure, we should expose the errors, whether you're looking at it from a biblical point of view, or maybe you're just somebody that just doesn't get it and wants to ask the critical questions, and I think you have a right to do so. But I think on our part, not to be hard or harsh to those that are hard and harsh to us, those who reject us, because I think a lot of them are just following orders, aren't they? They're just following orders. But if we put up barriers towards those people, even if they treat us in an unkind manner, it's not going to solve anything, is it? So anyway, I don't know. I'm just putting this out there. I don't really have a message other than what is the best way to deal with this situation. I don't think there's no point in waiting or hoping that the governing body changes their mind and drops the shunning policy. There's no point in waiting for that, because even though they've relaxed a little bit on the idea about talking to ones who are disfellowship coming to the hall, my experience shows me it's an individual thing, Individuals will take it to whatever extreme they want, and they will apply it as they wish. Some will, if they have the opportunity, they'll say hello and hope you're well, and that's it. And some will just outrightly reject you, like the experience I had. And I think that's going to be the case. It's going to be on a one-on-one basis, regardless of what the governing body says, because they're so conditioned into just shutting shop as soon as they see a disfellowship person. They really don't know how to react, if it's going to be a disloyal thing or a loyal thing. Where does their loyalty, integrity lie? That's the question they'll be going through their head, as opposed to, oh, this is my fellow brother, this is my mum, my sister, my son, daughter, whatever. Instead of just treating them like a normal human being, they're going to be thinking, what do the men in Warwick say, as opposed to what the Father and Christ says. Just something to think about. All right, guys. See you.
What's your story? That you can give sight to the blind. I came into this world to give sight to those who cannot see, and to take away sight from those who can. What do you mean by that? that we who are righteous are blind. If you were